Alright, what's good, everybody? We back. It's your boy Black Caesar and CP, and this week we're gonna talk about money, 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 money. But
Money.
money. But before that, we're just gonna do our check-ins and see how everything's been going. So, what's new at UCP?
Let's see. Every time you ask me that question, I have nothing new to say. I'm just like, work. Same old, same old. I went to a Magic's game recently. That was pretty good. Good seats there. Other than that, man, I'm chilling.
Yo, Magic's. I mean, I don't watch sports, but Orlando Magic has been pretty quiet. So I know they used to have like a huge superstar guy, like what's his name, like Howard something or somebody.
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. Like who's a big like who's a superstar of the team now? It,
I could not tell you. I mean, I went. It was preseason. Um, but I don't really. I don't think they have any stars at the moment. You know what I mean? That our big name people yet. So we'll see what happens.
true.
They played today against Miami and won, so I guess that's good.
Oh,
That's a
that's what's
plus.
up. That's what's up. I know Orlando's on the come up, so I think it's a matter of time before they get a really good team together.
I don't know about that. It's been to come up for like the last couple of years. It's been coming up. So I think what happens is, especially with Dwight Howard, like he left, right,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure if Orlando paid him more money, he would have stayed. You know what I mean? So I feel
Orlando ain't
like
got no money.
they have the money, but they're stingy. Come on, I mean, it's not a small market. It's not as big as LA or other places, but
But enough money to keep Dwight Howard? I don't know.
bro, you got all this money. You got Disney World here, bro. Come on, they got the money, man. They're just being. I feel like they're just being stingy with it, but
Hmm.
um, I
That
don't know. I
was
may
their
be wrong.
loss. That was their loss, though. Because you need a big name to carry a city like that. Because, like I said, Orlando's on the come up. You got the college there. You got Disney. That all the tourists go there. Like, man, I feel like in a couple of years, Orlando is about to be like really big. Like, it's already big, but it's about to like be a big contender with names like New York and stuff like that. Well, not New York, but
Yeah,
like Dallas maybe. You know.
sure. We'll see. So what's up with you though? Anything new?
Man, I gotta tell you, I've been struggling for the past week or so because my barbers, I got two barbers, man, and both of them went out of town at the same time without letting me know, bruh. Like I never experienced a struggle like this. So I went to my first barber. I get there, and I'm looking, and it's just like a really, like I usually text my barber to let him know I'm coming, but I know he'd be there. So I walk in, and his chair's empty, bro. I just felt betrayed. I was like, damn, this nigga's not here. And then they're like, yeah, he's not here, but the guy in the back can cut you. And like, bro, you know where you look in the barber shop, and there's like that one nigga that stands out, and he's in the back, and they send you to him. And the
That's
barber,
not good.
nah, that's not good. And the barber shop is full as hell, but he's the only one not doing shit, and he's in the back for a reason. So,
Oh God, you went to him?
hell nah, I didn't go to him. I thought
Oh.
about it, and then I was like, nah, fuck it. And the guy in the front who told me that my barber wasn't there, he's like, so you're gonna walk around with your hair like that just because your barber's not here? And he kind of put me out because not everybody's looking at me. I was like, you damn right.
Oh
So
shit.
I walked out and then I was like, yo, I have a backup barber, so let me see if this nigga's here. I go there, that nigga's out of town too. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? So yeah, so I end up getting I was like at that point I was like, fuck it. So I ended up getting just a random barber there, and it was alright. It was alright. He told me that's gonna tie into our discussion later about money and stuff like that because he has a really interesting background. But man, like if you don't have your barber, it's a struggle. Like we need to speak on how hard it is for black men to find a barber that they like, that works for them, that won't fuck up their tape. Like, I can't just walk into a supercut like a regular white person. Like,
and get a cut.
And get a cut, bro. Like, that shit gotta be on point. You gotta have like that relationship with your barber. But yeah, I don't know what to do, man. I'm about to just start texting my barbers from time to time just to keep up with them, so that shit don't happen to me again. Where they go out of town, and I had a work event that day, so I really had to get my hair cut. And yeah, man, black hair ain't no joke.
I just want to say, you got money when you got two barbers on deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you can hit up.
Nah, bro.
I got one, bro. I got one. You see, you got two of them niggas on deck, bro. That's how you know you got money. You know what I'm saying?
It's because I'll be, if one of them's not available, I go to the other one. You feel me? Like, it's two different barbershops. So yeah. And I be feeling guilty, bro. Like, when I go to one and I know
that's cheating, bro.
That is cheating, like cheating, bro. And they ask me like, "Yo, your hair look different. You got it cut somewhere else?" I'm like, "Nah, I got a what do you call that?" I was like, I'll be doing my own lineups at home, so that's what happened. Like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, gotta wait.
That's crazy. I went to a barbershop in Denver one time, and so I walked in, bro. I think we need to have an episode to talk about barbershop, rules and stuff like that. Because I walked in, and there was an old dude in there, right? And I was just like, man, like he asked me if I want to get my hair cut, and you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But there's a reason why you don't see nobody sits in the old dude's chair, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so, right, he fucked me up bad, man. And so everyone in the shop like kind of knew I shouldn't have gone to him, but it's like I figured if he's there, I feel like if you are a barber, you should be qualified to cut hair though, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's not that way, you know what I mean? It's usually like one or two people that are like good at a barbershop, like top notch.
Yeah, and those
maybe
people
two.
Always have a line.
Yeah, so it's usually just one really, but maybe two, if you're lucky. But the other niggas are like, it's like a basketball, bro. You got
That's
LeBron.
What I was gonna say.
And
yeah.
the other team, you got the other players who are just there.
Yeah, just taking
There's never
space.
two LeBrons, bro, in the barbershop.
And then everybody waiting on LeBron, so it's like a 3-hour wait to get your hair cut by LeBron, and it's like some random nigga who you never heard of, and it's like, who you waiting on? You're like, fuck, like I don't know what to say. You're like, okay, go to the back to that nigga.
That's facts. But anyways, that's what's up.
Yeah. I mean, I've walked into a barbershop. I have a bunch of barbershop stories, man. I walked into a barbershop one time and it was all white. I just walked right the fuck out. And what else? Oh, I had a barber one time and this man was shaking like crazy. I don't know if it was like a medical condition or what it was, but I was scared for my life. I saw my life flash in front of me, bro.
Damn.
And then so he was cutting my hair with the clippers. I was scared then, and then he pulled out the razor blade, and that's when I lost it, bro. Like,
what the hell? Nah, I've been to an all white shop before when I was like young, and that was probably the worst experience I've ever had. You know what I mean? I came out there and there was like zigzags all over my hair, bro.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it's something you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of them. So
I gotta say, I got my hair cut by a woman one time, and that shit was bomb. That shit was amazing, bro. Like I felt like I had really good conversation with her, and like we just had like a really good vibe. Like she was like a masculine lesbian.
Oh, I was gonna say, that's my next question. Like, yo, was she? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
doing what she do, because it's like what?
Yeah, bro. She was like a masculine lesbian in the shop, like just talking to all the guys. But she was cool though. Like she was like, it was like a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was white too. So I don't know. It was weird, or maybe she was Hispanic, but. Either way, that was a dope experience. At first I was a little skeptical because there was like, oh, who you waiting on, bro? Like that question always make my heart drop in the barbershop, bro. Because if you're new to the barbershop, you don't know who you're waiting on. Like,
yeah,
I want to be like whoever's the best person in here that don't got a long wait.
But you can't say that though. You know,
right.
I mean, you could say that, but you know. I guess because I've been there before, and they're like, and it's like two seats open,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, who you waiting on? And I'm here for somebody in particular, right? But they're like mad busy, bro. And I'm like, I'll wait for this dude. You know what I'm saying? And this is
Yeah.
like, oh damn, like for real. I'm like, yeah, nigga, like what you want me to say? Like, I'd rather wait an hour than get my hair cut by you two niggas. You know what I mean? So
But what if you don't know what if you walk into a barbershop where you don't know nobody and they ask you who you waiting on and you don't know who you're waiting on? You know what I'm saying? And you know they're about
I
to give you
yeah.
the nigga in the back. What do you say?
I mean, honestly, I think at that point I would probably just I'll walk in and peep who is most busy, and I'll say that dude. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what I'll do.
True, true.
So
Yeah.
mm.
Man, barbershop struggles, man. But yeah, let's get into it. You got any hot shit this week?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned a documentary last time about the '90s on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So they also have the '80s and the '70s, bro, and that shit is. I just finished the '90s yesterday, and now I'm on the '80s, and that shit is bomb, bro. It's fucking dope as hell. So I've been watching that shit a lot, and so if you love documentaries, I would definitely recommend to watch that one. What else am I watching? Other than that, really, I mean, it's been that, bro. Um, I got nothing else really. What
True
about
that.
you?
On my end, it's the new season of Big Mouth. That's the cartoon that's on Netflix. That talks about these kids going through puberty. So I've been really excited for it. I didn't know a second season was coming out, but it's all over Netflix. So if you haven't seen it yet, check out Big Mouth on Netflix.
And you know what? I gotta shout out the Joe Budden podcast, man. I don't know what it is. I just cannot. I can't stop watching that shit, bro.
Really?
So yeah, I'm like honestly, I'm a little addicted to it. So I've been watching it like every Saturday, every fucking Wednesday when it comes on. I'm listening to that shit. So I don't know if it's the cast, like like Maul and Rory, or if it's I don't know what it is, but there's something about that podcast that just works. And um, yeah. So shout out to Joe Budden for doing something that I actually like listen to, and I like listening to it. So
Isn't it crazy how Joe
what are
Budden's like
thoughts?
two different people? Like the person he was on that show with DJ Academics and the person he is on his podcast are like two completely different people. Isn't that crazy to you?
Yeah, bro. It's crazy. And but you know what though? I think the person that Joe is on his podcast, it would also have worked on the other show with academics. You know what I mean? But I can see why he did it because it's more, it's definitely more of a media persona type, you know what I'm saying, thing going on. But um, him being himself, it just works. It just makes sense, you know what I mean? So um, if I was him, I'd have been just doing that the whole time. So
Yeah, he should have just been himself and cut the bullshit.
um, cut the bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Cut the bullshit because in his podcast there is no bullshit. It's just real shit. So I fuck with it. Um,
I know there's a
yeah,
rumor
something like
that he
that.
was chased by that one guy from Migos. I don't know how true that is, but I kind of saw a headline about it.
He
Now,
said he had. He said he had to go. He said he had to go use the bathroom. He had to pee, and that's why he was running to go use the
oh
bathroom.
please, oh
I mean,
please.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know, but um, but then again, bro, you got Joe Button and who was it? Offset. Come on, bro. Like Joe's a big dude. In a fight, I'm taking Joe any day.
But
You know
Joe's
what I'm saying?
older too. I feel like he got weak joints, bro.
Oh my god. Weak choice.
Maybe in the
Yeah, I don't
90s,
know.
but not now.
Not now. Stress.
That arthritis setting on, but I don't know.
Father time, baby.
No,
Father time.
gets the best of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Budden podcast and then Big Mouth for me. Yeah, that's pretty much my hot shit right now. I've been watching a lot of YouTube series too. This group called UND on YouTube. They do like video reactions and shit. And it's these three black dudes from Atlanta just doing video reactions or doing random challenges. I don't know why, but I just be watching them shits. Like it's just it's kind of like reality TV, but without you watching TV. So yeah, I don't know. I fuck with that.
Are they doing music or just stuff in general?
No, they just do reaction videos. Like it's just like three niggas being niggas on YouTube.
Damn. That's
Yeah,
pretty.
but it's dope though because you don't really get to see that in regular TV. I feel like BET should have more shows like that. Yeah, I don't know. This. I feel like this could open up another topic about how I feel like BET's failing the black community.
Cause it's not BT, bro. It's WET, bro. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So,
It's wet.
so it's
But yeah,
wet.
I really do like. I don't know why like other races get to see themselves represented on TV, like doing just random shit. Like I want to see black people doing like random, like regular black people shit without the fighting, without the drama, without throwing drinks in somebody else's face. I just want to see like regular people being regular people, and not just like the superstars. Like I want to see what a regular black person in college is doing, just like living their regular life. Because white people have Jersey Shore and they have all of this,
Yeah.
and we had yeah. Go ahead. You were gonna say something.
No. I was gonna say it's kind of like Insecure, right? Like why can't Insecure in Atlanta be on a true black network? Because
Yeah,
in today's day and age, you know what I'm saying? Like you have all the streaming stuff, you have, all these different platforms. Why can't we create some that's just pure, this is black shit? Like, and you got Revolt TV, but I'm not sure how true that is. I've never watched it, and I don't know if that's really a true black owned thing.
man.
And what's on Revolt anyway? I
Diddy
don't know.
bullshit, and I don't know what's
Yeah,
on
bro.
Revolt. That's some Diddy
It's
bullshit.
all a brand. I'm not buying that Revolt shit, but I'm talking about like a true like network to where it's like, yo, this is like only black shit, but like you said, like real regular shit. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just I really feel like we need to give up on BET and yeah, like have some brand new shit where we can watch, where we can have insecure shit like Atlanta, like you were saying, and then like reality TV shows, like you know what I'm saying, like how come people just can watch the Kardashians do random shit, like lay around the house on the sofa, cry about random shit, like people will watch hours of that, and that shit got renewed for 7 seasons. Why can't we do the same shit for black people? And black people are entertaining as hell. So, so yeah, I don't understand why we can't do it. But yeah, that was my rant for the day.
True. I don't know either. I mean, I'm thinking, could it be a money thing? But I mean, there's enough people in Hollywood that got money. You know what I'm saying? As far as black money at this point, you know what I'm saying? And so I think if you were to get like, I don't know, Tyler Perry, Will Smith, like all the big shots, and create like a true network, bro, that should be popping. You know what I mean? But
I just don't think there's anybody to pull everybody together, and make that shit happen. I don't think anybody is rich enough to make it happen on their own. And I don't think anybody's able to
right.
pull enough people together to make it happen. Like, if they did, they'd be like, yo, what's in it for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going to be like, oh, let me do it for the culture, you know?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
that's the reason why, I believe. But that leads us right into our topic of black wealth. So, see how that just flowed into that? Um, yeah, so this week we wanted to talk about money and black wealth and stuff like that. So, yeah, tell us a little bit more about the topic, CP.
Yeah, so the topic really I wanted to, talk about today is black wealth in the sense that, it's 2018, right? And you got a lot of people who got money. And when I say money, I'm not talking about like, rich, like freaking, Diddy and all those people. I'm talking about like the middle class, you got like people who got 50 G's in their account, maybe even 40 grand in their account, right? But it's like, how do we go from that point to where you in the middle class, you got some cash reserves, or you got some kind of money to be able to take that a step further to create some like wealth, right? For the next generation. Like, what is stopping us right now from generating black wealth, right? And so I think it's a really big question because it's either gonna make us or break us. What we do as a collective right now, I think is gonna be big for the next 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? So um, that's my question to y'all. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I just think, well, okay, when I think of black wealth and stuff like that, I don't just want to think about the middle class because I think a lot of times when I think about black wealth, I just think about me like working my 9 to 5 and thinking about how I could go from working a 9 to 5 to being self-employed and shit like that. But like some people are struggling from working like minimum wage to not having to just like being middle class and not having to work like long hours without benefits and shit like that. So I think I just want to look at the full spectrum of things and really go from there. But actually, that's why I wanted to talk about my barber, or my backup barber, the backup to the backup to the backup.
Damn.
So yeah, so he was cutting my hair and shit, and he started talking to me about what I do and whatever. So then he starts telling me like, yo, stay on your path. Like he's like, it's more expensive to be a it's he said it's more expensive to be a felon than it is to work a 9 to 5. I was like, wait, what? Like I think he was saying like it's more expensive to be a drug dealer than it is to work a 9 to 5. And I was like, what you mean? Like I thought, people who were in that industry make a lot of money. He's like, nah, like so he started breaking it down for me. So he's like, okay, when he was when he was when he was in the trap, because he used to trap and like transport drugs and shit like that. He was saying like each trip they would pay him like 10K to do a trip to transport some shit. And he's saying if he was in a trap like cooking shit up, he would be making like 30K a day, and they had different shifts. So he was saying he stacked all that money up, right? So he's saying like not only did he stack it up, as soon as he got it, he was getting flashy jewelry, he was getting cars, he was getting guns to protect himself, and all that shit was all that money that he was getting would be spent like right back in protection and like keeping up the appearance of what he does. And he's saying not only that, when he got locked up, all the court fees and all that shit he had to spend came out to like $75,000. So there went all that money, and then the little bit of money he had left, his friends and family members took that shit. So he came out of jail like dead broke, and the money that he had too was spent in the commissary. So he was like, "Yo, like you think like people think that making all that money is good and it's great like at the time when you got it, but he's saying like the system knows exactly, like the system is set up for you to fail, like it's set up for you to get caught, it's set up for them to get all that money." So he's saying like he felt like he felt like the people that were watching him, like the people that put him in jail, he felt like they like watch him come up because they're like, you know what, in the end we're gonna get you. um so yeah, I really feel like when it comes to black wealth, like you just gotta make smart decisions, man. Like if you making dumb decisions out here, like you're not gonna be wealthy. Like the system, no matter how high you get, no matter how rich you get, like you're gonna lose all of that in court fees and all that other shit. So that's what that reminds me of when you said black wealth.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I mean, I can't think of one drug dealer that started, made all this money, and today, even if you stop doing it, is rich. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, um, I definitely agree, and I guess you know, a big thing is like a lot of us are having kids. Two, three, four, five kids. Like not getting married, all that stuff. Um, do you think that plays a role into it?
Absolutely. I think when people are I don't think people realize how expensive having kids are. And when you have a kid, man, like that's a lot of money that goes into raising a kid. I feel like to be financially successful, you have to plan to have a kid. Like you need to have a plan. Like don't just be like, oh, I'm having a kid. Because it's like, okay, do you have a college fund set up? Do you have money to pay the medical bills that are associated with the kid? Like how much more is that going to take out of your income? is this a stable relationship? Because you know what I'm saying. Like, if you bring a kid into the world and y'all not stable, and then you end up getting, like, let's say you're the father and you end up getting hit with child support. Now you have to pay. I know this guy who's working minimum wage. He says he has to pay $1,000 a month in child support. He had to pay that for 18 years. And I'm like,
That's
bro,
crazy.
yeah, like 1,000. Like, I didn't even do the math, but $1,000 a month for 18 years. Imagine if all of that was going into a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Hold on, I'm doing the math right now. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
$216,000, bro. Like, god
damn, bruh.
damn,
That's crazy.
that's a
And,
house paid
but
off.
you know what I don't get. So okay, so I get all the different problems, like you said about having kids, all that stuff, and like the dad's not in the house, and all that stuff. Everybody, bro, at this point in 2018 has Wi-Fi. Do you agree with that statement?
Agreed.
Okay, so if everybody has Wi-Fi, bro, like all the information, to get yourself, like um somewhere that's better, what I'm saying, every year to improve yourself is out there. It's like it's really, I'm not saying it's easy per se, but it's the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You know what I mean? And so I think it really makes me sad, like when I see people who are doing the same stuff over and over again, but then they expect next year will be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of the issue, because even though you got the music out there, I get that. There's always gonna be stuff in your environment that's going to influence you in a way, but you have to be able to rise above it. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, to be able to see a different vision for yourself. And so I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe people don't have enough positive influences in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe some people are born like not having somebody that let them know, like, hey, this is where you could get to. This is what you could be. Like, some people just, if you don't have somebody to pull you out of your situation, or like let you know, like empower you, like, okay, you can get out, you can do this too. Because when I was talking to my barber, he was like, I asked him, I was like, yo, how'd you even get into that? And he was like, like, that's just what I saw. Like, there was no black success around me. Like, the black people that were successful were drug dealers. He was like, you either in the church, you playing ball, or you a drug dealer. Like, there was no in between where he was raised. So yeah, I think it's important to see like different examples of like black people making it, like black doctors, black lawyers, black, like business owners, like all these different things, letting you know, like, hey, it can be done. This is the way that it can be, and this is the way you can get yourself out. And you don't even got to be a doctor. You feel me? Like, you could be like a black electrician, but you making about like 70K, 80K a year, because it's a trade and it's important. Like, not just saying that only college graduates are the definition of success. Like, somebody that's doing their shit, doing it well, and making the best out of their situation. When you see that and you get inspired, it'll push you to get out of whatever you're in. But yeah, the guy that told me that,
And you make it.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you making, to add to your statement, and you making more money as an electrician because a doctor has to pay all of them loans back, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's like at least $500,000 sometimes.
Yeah.
So electrician, you don't have any loans. It's a trade. And so that's also a good thing to think about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's so many routes to wherever you want to go, as long as you're like being really smart with your money, investing it well. But man, like when you get into shit like child support, like when you get into shit like jail, like when you get into shit like, you know what I'm saying, like a DUI, all them shits like fuck you up. I'm not saying that you're not gonna make it, but it makes it really hard to get to where you're going. And yeah, and people don't realize, like, having to take the day off from work to go to court, like, you're not getting paid for that day. You feel me? Like, all those court fees, the lawyer fees, it's a headache, man. Like, I just don't understand why people put themselves in those situations over and over again. But yeah, that's the way it is.
Well, so do you think that there aren't enough like shows in the media like. Cause you know how like back in the '80s, like you had the Cosby Show, and then in the '90s you had Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? It showed lawyers and teachers and all that stuff. I feel like now in the media, as far as black shows, I can't think of any shows that portray that anymore. It's usually like you got Empire, Star Power, which is showing the same old shit. You got Insecure, which is doing something different, which I fuck with a lot. You know what I'm saying? But other than that,
And Atlanta,
I feel like if we had more in Atlanta, if we had more shows that, I'm saying, show as being an electrician or a doctor or, a health person, like any kind of like positive role model, I feel like it probably help at least the young kids to kind of see more of that, because you really don't see that on TV anymore, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that would make a huge difference. I think that would really make a huge difference. Like just us seeing that and believing it, like that could change a lot in our society.
Yeah, cause dude, I went to a store one time, like on my lunch break to eat or whatnot, and this black dude asked me, "Yo, like what do you do?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an engineer," and he was like, "Oh my God, like I'm so proud of you," and shaking my hand, almost like I was some kind of like a freaking like a star on Hollywood, right? I'm like, but shouldn't that be the norm, right? Like, shouldn't we strive to be those things? And I feel like I don't know, bro. If we can get to a time to where like that's not like, oh my God, like that's so amazing that you made it. You're an engineer. It's like, yo, like we should all strive to be that. And I feel like it's crazy. Like when you see that, and he was just so shocked. Like he doesn't see that like at all. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know.
This concept is kind of crazy to me too, because it's like we're talking about how we can get more black people to be lawyers, engineers, and just be successful overall. But when you look at a country, but that's in America, because in America, the majority of people that are in those positions are white. So imagine in a country where it's all black, you have no choice but to have like black lawyers, black engineers. Like nobody grows up thinking like, oh, I can't be this because of my skin color. I can't be that because I don't see representation. So that just shows to me that America, even though we say we're past like race relations, like that doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be like a regular country where everybody feels like they have an equal shot. But don't get me wrong, I love this country though. I just feel like it could be some things could be a lot better.
Yo, that's a very good point. Cause yeah, in like for example in Haiti, if you see a lawyer, it's normal. It's like, oh, he's a lawyer.
Yeah,
like,
you're not gonna be like, oh, you a black lawyer. Like nigga, we all black.
Right,
lawyers.
you a black lawyer. We all black lawyers, bro. And so maybe, damn, that's a good point. So maybe it like the issue. I mean, obviously it ties back to racism and race, but it has a bigger effect than we think it does. You know what I'm saying? In America, as far as oh my God, seeing a black doctor is a big deal. I mean, I've seen stuff on YouTube showing a black pilot, and I was like, oh my God, that's such a big deal. I'm like, yo, like we can do all that shit, bro. It's not anything different than any other person doing it. You know what I mean? But because you don't see it as often, it's a shock when you see like someone doing that kind of role. And so,
and then you have a white person come out of nowhere like, oh, how come we're only talking about black pilots? All pilots matter. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up with this shit again. Like people always come out of nowhere where, oh, how come we're recognizing black this, black that? Because it's like, well, because it's rare and it's special and it doesn't happen often. So when it does, we should take the time to recognize it.
Yeah, it's true. Because, I mean, even my old job, I had on a shirt, which is it's a Black Society of Engineering shirt, right? Mm-hmm. It's called Nesby. And the guy goes, well, I bet I'll be in a little trouble if I had on a white Society of Engineers. And I was like,
here we go.
I was like, yo, come on, man. Like half the engineers in this country are white, bro.
Not like, even half, like 90%.
Over half. Yeah, 90%. So I mean, even in my company, it's mostly white people. You know what I mean? And so, to the point where all the black people at my job, we all know each other, bro. Right. You know what I mean? So it just shows you that it's such a small population that everybody knows everybody else because it's like super small. And so, um, I don't know. I mean, like, do you really think that the music is really having that much of an effect on us as a culture, and that's why we're like not progressing as much as far as hip hop?
No, I don't really think. I think hip hop does play a role, but I don't think it plays a major role in how we see ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, people should still be able to party and have fun and know that they can still do great things. I feel like hip hop that we have here is heard all over the world, but it don't stop people in other countries from becoming lawyers and doctors and stuff like that.
Damn,
So
that's a good ass point, bro. You
yeah,
don't see people in France like, yo, I'm about to go fuck shit up. That's a good point.
right.
Um,
Which okay, this is gonna be a little bit off topic, but you know how UK and America are kind of similar, like in terms of world presence and shit, like
as far as what? I missed the
world
first part.
presence, like you know how UK and America are just like they're very similar countries and how much we influence the world, how
Yeah.
much people
Mm-hmm.
know about us and stuff
Yeah.
like that. How come I
Yeah.
can't name like how come I can't name a lot of famous black UK people? You know what I'm saying? Like I can only think of Idris Elba, maybe. Like yeah, Idris Elba.
That's who I was thinking of.
But you know how we got Beyonce, we
um,
got Martin Luther King, we got I can't believe I put Beyonce right next to Martin Luther King, but shit.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got Oprah, we got all these like big celebrities. Like we got Diddy, we got Tupac. Like we got a shitload of people. But when it comes to and these people are not known only in the U.S., but they're like world famous people. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is up with UK? Like, where are the black UK people at? You feel me?
Well, you know what it is, and I still don't get why. It's because for some reason the only the only market that matters as far as entertainment is America, right? So
Right.
UK actors, their their whole goal is to break into the American market because then they have made it, which is probably why, you know what I'm saying? Because we're like we don't see like UK artists are not like marketed to us in America. Like you don't know of any like UK rappers that much,
Right.
maybe none, or R&B singers, or you know what I'm saying, because people over here like don't look over there for that shit. It's not even over here,
But it's
but they know all our
worldwide
shit. So I
though.
mean,
Isn't that crazy? Like, I feel like you could go to China and somebody would know who Rihanna is. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
of course,
And it's worldwide.
it's for some. It's the I don't know how they did it, bro, but it's the allure of America is like the place to be, because even it's not even entertainment, because if you if you have a degree from America, bro, right? Let's say engineering, doctor, lawyer. Even if the school, you know, let's say in India is much better, is a better school. You go to a shitty ass school in America, you go back to India with the degree, it has more weight,
More value. That's
bit
true.
more value, only because it came from America, which to me is it's genius. I don't know how, but it's fucking genius, bro. Like the only country in the world to where if you can do it there, anywhere else in the world, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, it's from
If
America.
this
It
is
has
an
more weight, more
American degree,
value,
like yeah.
degree, and so I don't know, bro. I don't. That's a good ass question. I don't get it, but that's how it's been, and that's music. That's Hollywood. That's schools, scientists. It don't matter what it is. America just has that allure of, oh my God, it's America. So it's great. It's amazing, even if it's not. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um,
It's conversations like this that makes me happy to be in the US. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like dream day and night to be in the US and know what the hype is about. Like they always see it on TV. They're like, "Wow, this is where I want to be and shit." So, like it kind of makes me happy to be in the US, you know? Um
and you know what? And maybe it's because. Do you think it's because like we push America like all over the world, like through for example, just think about it, bro. America has invaded pretty much like all pretty much America has a military base pretty much all over the world,
Right.
right? We push, all our music, our movies. They're marketed heavily to to China, Russia, like all the other countries. All the movies here are pushed heavily over there, but you don't see nothing being pushed over here from
No.
you know what I'm saying.
No.
And then so those kids or those people over there, all they see is like, yo, American, you know what I'm saying, movies. There's a BK in Russia. There's McDonald's in China. There's Taco Bell. All this shit, bro. All over, like, isn't that crazy? But name one, like, Chinese fast food place in America.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the
You
thing.
can't.
Everything's being more Americanized, and that kind of pisses me off because I don't want to travel somewhere and it's America. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna go to China and get a Burger King. I could walk to the nearest Burger King here. You feel me? So I just hope places still retain their identity and shit. At least by the time I travel over there, after I leave, y'all can do whatever y'all want, but just keep that shit original and cultural. But yeah,
It's
but
funny because I read an article how I think McDonald's or BK is having a hard time in Vietnam. It's doing really bad over there, and the reason why is because I can go off to the street and get a banh mi for like half the price.
yo, and
You
banh
know what I
mi's are
mean?
fucking
And so
dope, bro. Like,
they're fire, bro. I
what?
can get some like, you know what I mean? Like,
Some
why would I
wow.
pay more money for my chicken where I can get like a fucking beef banh mi, bro?
And
Like,
some
come
boba
on,
tea
man.
on the side. Like, what?
What?
Fuck a McFlurry,
Shit.
nigga.
So I mean, fuck a McFlurry. I'm dead, bro.
But yeah,
And so,
yeah, go ahead.
nah, I was just gonna say, bro. I just feel like I haven't been anywhere, bro. I feel like I need. That's why I want to travel more because I feel like I'm living in the Truman Show. You know, I don't know if you've seen that movie or not, but
Yeah, that
you know what I
movie's
mean. I just
trippy.
feel like I haven't really. Yeah, bro. So I just like my goal is to like fucking go to places that you know what I'm saying, fucking way far, and just kind of experience like what it is to like not be in America. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's the goal right there. Um, but yeah, back to Black Wealth, man. Like, I think people just got to make smart decisions, make smart choices. The system is set up for you to fail, so you got to work with yourself. You can't be working against yourself and the system working against you. That's self-sabotage, man. Like, work smarter, cheat the system, make it work for you, and save up your money, invest it wisely, and that's how you build black wealth.
I think the other thing is, at least for me, is to be able to not get the shiny things that you want right now. I think that's probably the biggest thing that hurts us, bro, as a people, right? Because like you want the new Jordans, you want the new car, you want the you know what I'm saying, all the shiny stuff.
You
And I
want
get
to
where
be
it
in
comes from.
VIP
I get
paying
it.
$500 for a bottle for 10 niggas when you could just buy a $30 bottle and
Exactly.
drink at the crib. That's my biggest concern with black niggas, like black males around the age of in their 20s and 30s, 40s too. Shit.
Yeah. And bro, I don't know if you have to fight it. If you have to fight it, bro, but I have to fight myself a lot. Like when I'm out, I'm like, yo, I want to get this. I'm trying to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I need to get this shit. I need to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, why do I want to buy this shit? And I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to show off. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why would I do that when I could just take that money, buy some stock or put it in real estate or do something with it to where I can have twice as much next year. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the hardest part is fighting the urge to buy shiny shit, bro. You know what I mean? And even I deal with it too. So I mean, I think it's just that's probably like one of the things that, is not talked about as much, I feel like.
I think my biggest weakness is food, bro. Like, I spend too much money on food.
Bruh.
Entirely too much, bro.
This guy right here. I mean, but I mean, food though. You gotta eat, bro.
I
So I
know,
mean,
I know, I gotta eat,
food
but do
and
I
some
gotta eat out
Jordans
every
is not
day,
the same
bro?
thing.
Like really, like I could be at
Oh
home
nah, you can't
cooking,
do that every
but
day.
I just be like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna eat out. And to me, that's somewhere I can improve. Like I could be investing all these $10, $15, $20 I spend on food every day. I could be investing that somewhere else. But yeah, man, and another thing too, like just make really good use of your time because I feel like if you just at home and shit, like you know what I'm saying, like okay, let's say you working minimum wage somewhere, right? Like you working one job and your free time, like don't just be at home like chilling, smoking, drinking. Like you could be working Uber, doing some other shit, or taking a course, going to college, going to night school. Like I don't know, man, like you just make really good use of your time so you're not struggling like crazy and then wondering why you're not getting anywhere. um so that's my advice too.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Because I mean, if you have access to internet, which we all do, anything you want to learn, bro, is online, and they're free too, like free courses and shit. So you want to be an electrician or plumber, shit, nigga, go online. I'm pretty sure there's some classes online you could take, right? So or like whatever it may be, like you want to know how to code or freaking do websites or marketing. You know what I'm saying? It's all on there, bro. And so um, it's just having the will to figure shit out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. This kind of makes me think too, like speaking of wealth, I don't know if you saw the New York Times article on Jared Kushner, and they broke down how this man got rich. Like he basically cheated the system. So he'd buy property, roll the cost of property and into debt basically, just say that because of the property, the money that he spent on it, he's broke. So and he just kept said he was broke, didn't have to pay taxes on it, and then bought a bigger property, and he just kept flipping that shit until he got rich enough, bro. So, yeah, I'm not saying do tax evasion and fraud, but work the system, make it work
well,
for you. Don't work against it,
yeah,
basically.
no, I mean that's true, and it's not illegal find to find loopholes in the system legally, if that makes
Our
sense.
president said it.
Yeah, exact, bruh. I'm about to say. So if it's legal and it works for you and it's a loophole, nigga, do that shit because everybody else is doing it. At least they're doing it. So why can't we do the same thing? You know what I mean? So,
Right,
um,
right. I'm sure there's like different shit that you could be finding out about. Like, I don't know, like still like file your tax exemptions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just do research on different shit. Like, the more you know, the less people can scam you. The more you can scam the system.
bruh, you can claim what you put in into collection at church, like all the offerings that you put in at church.
Mm-hmm.
You can claim that shit on your taxes.
Right.
And you know how much niggas go to church. We all go to church, bro. Like niggas love going to church and giving all that money away. So imagine you save all those receipts and you claim that shit. That's a tax break on your taxes, dog. Like shit like that is a way to benefit like your finances. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. When you do maintenance on your tires, like when you all the miles that you drive. Yeah, man. I think I spoke about this in a podcast before. Like some people are able to form like let's say you have a business, quote unquote, right? And then you and your friend you have a business and you guys meet up at McDonald's, let's say, to speak about some shit. Shit, that's a business meeting because you that's your business partner. Y'all talking about business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a business meeting. You charge them, you keep track of the mileage, you keep track of the receipt, bro. Like if you're really organized and dedicated to working the system, you could work it.
and you know what's crazy is like there are apps that do this for you. Like I don't know what they call right now. I forgot, but I'm pretty sure I read about apps that track your mileage for you. So by the end of the year, you can just look it up and put, like what it was for business or whatever, and you can claim that shit, bro.
Right.
Deductions, my nigga. Shit.
Shit, that's the key.
I use all that shit though. I don't know about you, but it takes me like a week to do my taxes, bro. I go
What?
through all the fucking loopholes.
Bruh.
I count miles. I count receipts, nigga. I'm counting like
Everything.
everything, bro. I don't care.
Oh man.
So that's
But
good.
yeah,
Well,
so yeah, that's
I
our
think we need like
advice.
a whole. That's our advice, bro. I think. I mean,
this topic, we can go on for days, bro, about this topic.
We could do a separate podcast on this topic. Real shit.
For real. Like steps, bro. Steps on how to steps on black wealth, bro. Shit.
But yeah.
Step 1, don't go to the strip club.
Right. It's a scam, bro.
Or if you go, don't throw money. You know what I'm saying? Or if you throw money, pick that shit up.
Pick that shit right up. If